all have something we return to on occasion that reminds us of our childhood. For some of us, it's watching a familiar movie. For others, it's returning to a place we have fond memories of growing up. And for others still, it's putting on music from a band you remember well. Allow me to take you on a tour of something I return to for nostalgia. Beyond just a 20-year-old simulator, it's an obscure add-on for the game that has almost been lost to time. The Scenic Railway was a payware add-on route package for Microsoft Train Simulator that was released during the summer of 2002. It was created by a group called Abacus, which also made add-ons for the Microsoft Flight Simulator franchise. The Scenic Railway, or SRW, is a short line of sorts operating out of a massive yard in Capital City with two branch lines. One branch line runs north to Evergreen Steel, and the other runs south, then east, then north to the town of Mid-Valley. The railroad's main line runs for about 30 miles, give or take. The railroad's locomotive fleet consists of 8 EMD SD40 locomotives. Numbers 2001 through 2004 are standard SD40s, while 2005 through 2008 are SD40-2s equipped with dynamic brakes. The railroad seems to survive by finding ways to get almost any load on their one kind of flat car, even if that means loading things in ways that would make an OSHA inspector have a stroke. The SRW serves several industries along the line, including lumber and grain operations. It's rare that the included activities have you handling anything other than flat cars, though. One unique aspect of the railroad, going by the included activities, is its specialization in short-haul intermodal service. The railroad will ferry containers from one end of Capital City to the other, a run that takes 20 minutes if the engineer stops to take a 10-minute nap in the middle of the trip. Heading out of Capital City, you will pass a large dam and lake. Then you dip into the hills. There you will see trees, and did I mention trees? Considering that the Scenic Railway is an add-on dating back to 2002, one expects there to be problems and deficiencies. Some of the issues found with this route were blatant even for 2002, which was only the second year that Microsoft Train Simulator had been available to the public. Some of the complaints about the route at the time included sparse scenery and static vehicles on some highways. Looking back now, there are worse issues to contend with, such as seizure-inducing crossing flashers, tracks laid over top roads at many crossings, and generally low-quality locomotive and car models. Looking back at the route, I strongly suspect it was created as a testbed for Abacus's Train Sim Modeler program. The route's folder is named Simplicity, and the route's subfolders are littered with unused shapefiles, no doubt created in TSM. The Modeler program is still used today, and by very talented artists. For 2002, though, train simulation was a new frontier, and one Abacus intended to explore. For me, the Scenic Railway was the first add-on I got for MSTS. My grandfather purchased Microsoft Train Simulator when it was fairly new, and he gave me the Scenic Railway about the time I went into second grade. Having a new route and trains to play with in Train Sim opened up a whole new world for me, and I spent a lot of time running the SD40s not only on the SRW, but in all kinds of places they didn't belong. Even for a route that seems so familiar to me, I still occasionally uncover new secrets. For instance, the terrain on the route is actual digital elevation data. Capital City is actually Porterville, California. The dam and lake are actually Lake Success, and Mid-Valley would straddle Wagner Drive about 3 miles north of Springville, California. Rooted in reality or not, the Scenic Railway will always hold a special place for me. It was a notable milepost in my elementary school years and continued to play an on-again, off-again role in things for years after. I remember spending many hours in the musty basement of my grandparents' house with my hand on the virtual throttle of an SRW SD40, sitting in front of a Dell Dimension 2400 computer. That machine introduced me to many things, including Microsoft SAM and Dell's music samples. Today, my grandfather has passed on. I've grown up, and MSTS has given way to Open Rails. A couple of years ago, I found the install disk for the SRW, and after a few tweaks, I was again running the dark blue SD40s. A lot has changed since the first time I visited the Scenic Railway, but sometimes it's just good to be back.